What if the most intense love stories aren't the perfect ones, but the ones that almost feel too real to watch? The kind where conversations get awkward, emotions spill at the wrong time, and attraction builds in silence instead of big dramatic scenes. No filters, no fairy tale endings, just raw moments that feel like they were taken straight from real life. These movies don't try to make love look pretty. They show it exactly how it is. Let's dive in and explore the most real, raw, and unforgettable love stories ever put on screen. 1. Weekend, 2011. It begins like something ordinary, a one-night stand between two strangers. But what unfolds over the next 48 hours is anything but simple. Set almost entirely in quiet spaces like apartments and empty streets, the film leans into conversation, silence, and those fragile in-between moments where connection either grows or disappears. What makes it feel real is how unfiltered everything is. The characters don't speak in polished lines. They stumble, hesitate, and reveal themselves slowly. You can almost feel the tension in the pauses. It captures that rare phase where two people are still figuring each other out, when every word matters more than it should. The intimacy here isn't about spectacle. It's about vulnerability, the kind that makes you lean in a little closer. 2. Take This Waltz, 2011. This film quietly dismantles the idea that stability equals happiness. It follows a woman who seems content in her marriage, yet finds herself drawn toward something new, something uncertain. And that pull between comfort and curiosity is where the story lives. What hits hardest is how relatable it feels. There's no villain here, just people trying to understand what they want, even when that truth hurts others. The film doesn't rush decisions. It lets them simmer, showing how small emotional shifts can lead to life-changing consequences. The chemistry is subtle but powerful. Sometimes it's just a glance, a laugh, or a shared silence that carries more weight than anything physical. 3. Stay the Night, 2022. A single night, two strangers, no grand promises, and yet it feels like something important is happening. The beauty of this film lies in its simplicity. There are no dramatic twists or over-the-top declarations. Instead, it focuses on conversation, the kind that starts casually and slowly becomes deeper without you noticing. It's about that unexpected connection that feels rare and fleeting at the same time. The realism comes from how grounded it is. These are people dealing with real-life pressures, not cinematic fantasies. And because of that, every moment feels earned. The attraction builds quietly, almost invisibly, until you realize it's already there. 4. Blue is the Warmest Color, 2013. This is not an easy film to watch, but that's exactly why it feels so real. It traces a relationship over years, capturing every phase, from discovery to obsession to heartbreak. What stands out is how deeply it explores emotion. First love here isn't idealized. It's overwhelming, confusing, and sometimes destructive. The characters grow, change, and hurt each other in ways that feel painfully authentic. The film takes its time, allowing you to sit with every moment. You don't just watch the relationship, you feel it evolve and eventually unravel. It's messy, it's intense, and it doesn't pretend otherwise. 5 to 7, 2014. There's something strangely calm about this story, even though it revolves around an affair. The idea is simple. They can only meet during a specific 2-hour window each day. But within that limitation, something meaningful grows. The realism comes from its tone. It doesn't dramatize the situation too heavily. Instead, it presents it as something almost routine, which makes it even more thought-provoking. It challenges how we think about relationships, boundaries, and emotional attachment. The connection between the characters feels natural, not forced. It's built on conversation, shared moments, and quiet understanding rather than dramatic gestures. 6. Things to Come, 2016. This film steps away from traditional romance and looks at life as a whole. It follows a woman navigating major changes, loss, independence, and unexpected new connections. What makes it stand out is how understated it is. Romance isn't the main focus, but it exists naturally within the larger story. It shows that relationships don't always define us, but they still shape us in subtle ways. The emotional depth comes from its honesty. There's no attempt to make everything meaningful in a cinematic way. Instead, it reflects how life actually unfolds, quietly, unpredictably, and sometimes without clear answers. 7. Passages, 2023. This film doesn't hold back. It dives straight into the complexities of desire, identity, and emotional chaos. At its center is a character who makes impulsive decisions, leaving a trail of emotional fallout behind. What makes it realistic is how uncomfortable it can be. People aren't always good or rational, especially when it comes to love. This film embraces that truth, showing how relationships can be shaped by ego as much as affection. The interactions feel raw, almost intrusive, like you're watching something you shouldn't. And that's exactly the point. It removes the distance that films usually create. 8. Newness, 2017. Modern dating rarely feels romantic in the traditional sense, and this film captures that perfectly. It explores how apps and endless choices have changed the way people connect. At first, everything feels exciting. There's that rush of meeting someone new, discovering similarities, and imagining possibilities. But as the relationship evolves, cracks begin to show. What feels real is how it deals with boredom, curiosity, and the pressure to keep things interesting. It reflects a reality many people recognize but don't often see portrayed honestly. It's not about perfect love. It's about trying to make something work in a world full of distractions. 9. Mon Roi, 2015. This is a story told through memory, and like most memories, it's messy and emotional. It looks back at a long, complicated relationship filled with highs and lows. What stands out is how accurately it portrays toxic cycles, the kind where moments of intense passion make it hard to walk away, even when things are clearly falling apart. The characters feel real because they're flawed. They make mistakes, repeat them, and struggle to break patterns. It doesn't try to simplify anything. It lets the chaos exist as it is. 10. Appropriate Behavior, 2014. This film feels like a slice of real life. It's awkward, funny, and sometimes painfully honest. It follows a woman dealing with identity, family expectations, and the aftermath of a breakup. What makes it different is its tone. It doesn't treat romance as something grand or dramatic. Instead, it shows how relationships can fall apart in small, quiet ways, through misunderstandings, timing, and personal struggles. The humor adds another layer of realism. Life isn't always serious, even when it's complicated. And this film captures that balance perfectly. These films don't try to impress you with perfect love stories. They show you the cracks, the hesitation, the uncertainty, the parts that feel closest to real life. Some of them are quiet, some are intense, and some are uncomfortable to watch. But all of them share one thing: honesty. If you're tired of predictable romance and want something that actually feels human, this list is where you start.